What do you make of the decision to make this announcement with the trade deadline just 10 days away? It's February the 7th. What do you make of that?
Well, Nicole, Rich Paul and Anthony Davis met earlier this month in Cleveland on an off day, discussed his options going forward. They had made up their mind at that time that Anthony was not going to sign the extension this summer, but Anthony wanted to try to continue to make it work this season, and they agreed not to make a trade demand. In the subsequent weeks, the Pelicans have continued to struggle and maybe most importantly have not done anything to improve the roster. In fact, they haven't made a roster move all season long. And so they're doing this now for a pretty specific reason, to exclude the Boston Celtics from being able to trade for Anthony Davis. They are not legally able to trade for him unless they trade Kyrie Irving for him. And that would be there's no way New Orleans would do that trade because Kyrie is a free agent to be. So this is really an attempt to force Anthony Davis to the Los Angeles Lakers. And now what really happens is, one, teams make their offers to New Orleans, and two, Anthony Davis, while he may not have given a list immediately, a team cannot make a legitimate offer unless it knows Anthony wants to extend and stay long term. So those conversations would have to happen. And really what this is going to come down to, Nicole, is the fortitude of the Pelicans, whether or not they want to trade him before February 7th or whether or not they're comfortable having him on their roster till the summer when the Celtics can get into the game. And even if they don't want to trade him to Boston, just having Boston with its deep pockets of young players and draft picks in the bidding will affect the bidding. And that's where the cookie is going to crumble on this. Do they have the fortitude to stick it out or not?
So there are so many moving pieces in parts to all of this, because we've heard LeBron come out earlier this season and say, yeah, I would love to play with Anthony Davis. I said earlier, the common denominator in all of this is the agent. It's Rich Paul. It's Anthony Davis's agent, but also the best friend and business partner of LeBron James. You said Paul and Davis met earlier this week to discuss their plan. But with all that's gone on already this season, how long would you say that this plan that's now being carried out has actually been in the works?
Well, Anthony hurt his finger last week, maybe 10 days ago, and the team declared him out 1 to 2 weeks. Rich Paul got him a second opinion. If that second opinion was that he was going to need more than a couple of weeks to get back, they thought there was a chance he may need a month. They would know at that point that the Pelicans season pretty much was over, that they would have no chance to make the playoffs. While they were working on that, the Pelicans continued to lose and slip back in the standings, and that pushed them over the proverbial goal line here to make up their mind. But make no mistake, they are very, very aware that they are doing this with the Celtics being out of the game. They are. I mean, I don't know if there's any other way to look at it than they're trying to guide them to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know if the Pelicans want to make a deal with the Lakers, but that's where we are right now, and that's going to be what we're watching between now and February 7th.
Celtics are out of it because they have Kyrie under the Rose Rule, and Anthony Davis has his contract currently under the Rose Rule. You can only have one of those guys on your team at one time. That's Brian Windhorst. Thank you, sir.